missed out on my phone. Well,
All right.
This is Rachel. Rachel is a science teacher. This is Ryan. Ryan is also a science teacher, but he tried GenerationGenius.com for free, so he's feeling pretty good. Rachel spent...
Oh, it is a song.
come on, let's go.
All right.
What do you know?
A numerical expressions, operations, and steps are found in its words that detail the process. Look at the grouping symbols to discover which calculations must be done before another. Let's see what I mean with a few examples, a few numerical expression samples. But first, a solo on the bongo.
Let's go!
4 times the quotient of 20 and 10. Before we multiply, we need to find the quotient. We put brackets around 20 divided by 10. Get 4 times 2, 8 answers question.
Write and interpret numerical expressions. We read them closely and it's these questions. What operations are described in this problem? And what's the order in which we will solve them?
What's 90 divided by the difference is 14 and 5. 14 minus 5 is brackets. The difference is 9. The next step is symbolized by the division sign. Divide 90 by 9 and 10's the quotient we'll find. Let's see an example one more time with the best rhymes you're ever gonna find. But first, a solo on the bongo.
Let's go!
10 times the sum of 40 and 53. First put 40 plus 53 in parentheses. The words tell us to add and get 93 first. Then multiply by 10 to add the verse.
Write and interpret numerical expressions. We read them closely and it's these questions. What operations are described in this problem? And what's the order in which we will solve them?
Let's go!
When math class is in session and we read a numerical expression, word clues can help us choose the operation so we can make the correct calculations. Plus all together and all total is sum. These are our clue words for addition. How many more minus remain? With difference are all clue words for subtraction. By multiply times product of are all clue words for multiplication. How many times divide goes into quotient? Are all clue words for division.
To write and interpret numerical expressions, we read them closely and it's these questions. What operations are described in this problem? And what's the order in which we will solve them?
Visit numblerock.com for exclusive content, lesson materials, and more. Thanks for watching.
Yesterday was way
Bars.
worse.
That was street bars. Don't play.
Yesterday.
Bars. Well,
Alright,
what was yesterday?
It was like the weird one.
What happened?
Well, if you watch the video that I posted, you can know.
Okay. Hear me out.
Shh, I don't want to hear anything right now.
Okay.
All right. We're not watching this whole thing. We're just watching bits and like probably the
Hello
first
everyone and welcome to this lesson on algebraic translation. Now our aim for this lesson is how can we translate written expressions and equations into numerical form. So basically we see it in written form and we want to write it in terms of numbers and variables. Now before we can do that, we have to lay the groundwork here, and there's a few things that we need to know so that we can use them when we get to doing the actual translations. Now, if we had something like 7 plus 5, verbally we could express this, for example, as the sum of 7 and 5, and we would be done. But what if instead of a 7, we had a variable, we had the letter x there? Instead of saying the sum of 7 and 5, we would say the sum of a number and 5, because x is a variable and it can represent any number, so we're just going to call it a number. And even though x is the most commonly used letter, this applies to any letter in the alphabet that can be used to represent a variable, which is just some unknown value. So let's translate 10 plus a number. So again, it's an expression, so we have the number 10 plus, we know, is just addition, and then a number is just some unknown, we'll call it x. So that translates to 10 plus x. Now what if we have the statement 10 more than a number? Now we should know that more than is associated with addition, so our sign is not going to change. So let's think about this one differently. We have a number, some unknown number, some variable, and this phrase represents 10 more than whatever that number is. So in this case, we're going to start with the variable and then add 10 to it. Now, since this was addition, and because addition is commutative, the order didn't actually matter. So let's take a look at an example now using subtraction. So now let's look at 6 less than a number. So again, we see that word than. So we have 3 parts here. We have the number 6, we have less than, which we know is subtraction, and then a number, we'll call it n. Now, this phrase represents a value that is 6 units smaller than whatever our number n is. So to find that number, we would have to take n and subtract 6 from it. So in cases like this, the second term comes first, and the first term comes second.
What is less than? What do we call that? Let's see who remembers. So it's
Something like a flip phrase?
yes. So it's a switch phrase, which means what? What does it mean? Well, it means subtraction, but what does switch phrase mean to us? Right, it's in the opposite order in which it says. So here it's 6 less than a number. When you write it though, it's n minus 6. Keep that in mind.
Second, we have to switch the order. Now, this is the case when we see the word then. And we're going to say that then is a switch word, which means that the operator stays in the middle, but the order of the first term and the last term is switched. So the way that it's written, the actual expression will be in reverse order. Moving on now, if we have the phrase the difference of 3 and a number, you can easily translate this. Difference is subtraction, and we have 3 minus some number, we'll call it p. So 3 minus p would represent this phrase. But what if instead of the difference of 3 and a number, we had the difference of 3 and twice a number plus 1? So now instead of p, we have to represent that whole expression, which we can call 2p plus 1. And we can enclose this individual expression in parentheses. So when performing algebraic translations, you can use parentheses to separate the independent groupings. And now let's look at a number divided by 3 is 8. So we have a number.
So we'll watch 4 minutes to the end tomorrow. Because that gets into equations, and sorry, our life equations are on Friday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever day, that day over there. All right. Huh? Thursday, Friday. All right, so go ahead, get out your iPads, go to the first section, number 10. Number 10. Alright, so how many of you guys are like saying this isn't an expression? Like, you're looking at the question right now. What is this? What is this type of question that you're looking at? Mikael? Nope. Number 10 is not an expression. What is number 10? If I can get there, I'll show you. What is number 10? Jonathan? No, y'all. Do you see this thing, and this thing, and this thing, and this thing, and that word? They're inequalities. So technically, no, this is not an expression, but this is asking you to write the inequality. So I figured, let's do a little of both. Let's write our inequality while practicing writing expressions. All right, so it says Andy runs the same number of miles X every day. His total distance run for 1 week is less than 60 miles. Less than is going to be important. Why? Why is less than important to us? Why is less than important? Roddy?
So we know which way the is gonna face.
Yep, so we know which way the inequality is going to face. And then the question you're trying to answer is, which inequality represents how many miles he ran each day? All right, so let's do some process of elimination. So A, looking at that inequality symbol, can somebody tell me what that inequality symbol is? Because if you can't say, if you don't know the inequality symbols, you can't answer these questions, right? All right, no? It is greater than. So this is saying 7 plus X is greater than 60. Well, how do we know that that's wrong? Even without looking at anything else, how do we know that one is wrong? How do we know that one is wrong? Jonathan? Right, because in here it says less than. So we can get rid of A and we can get rid of C. So now, just by knowing what our inequality symbol is, we've given ourselves a 50-50 chance of getting this one right, correct? All right, so now we're looking at B and we're looking at D. All right, if you think it is B, 7 plus X is less than 60, stand up. Nobody? All right, if you think it is 7X less than 60, stand up. All right, Kyle, why'd you pick D?
In the full week, which was 7 days, we ran the same number of miles. So it would be 7 times the number of miles we ran each day.
Perfect. So because in here when it says same number each day in the week, we know that we are multiplying that same number by 7. All right, questions about that one? We're probably going to have less work in our notebooks today just because there's not a lot of work that goes into these types of problems. And we also have a couple more than we usually do. So therefore, you'll probably have more work on your iPad than in your notes. But if you want to write some stuff down in your notebook, that is fine. All right, I have no idea what section this is. Oh, sorry, go to number 37.
7?
Yeah, 37. And then I'll have to figure out the section. All right, so let's talk about what's important in the question. It says Jason owns a party supply store. He sells balloons for 50 cents each and party hats for $1.25. Jason buys each balloon for 10 cents and each party hat for 20 cents. Which expression represents how much money Jason gains from selling N balloons and H party hats? All right, so what's important in the first bullet? Christiana? Okay, what else is important in the second bullet? What's important in that second bullet? Kylie?
He buys these for me for 10 cents and one pack for 20 cents.
Oops. Why did I just change that? Why did I just change those two words? Delilah?
Because the first bullet says he sells. Yeah, he sells, and the second bullet says he buys.
Okay. So one, he's gaining money, and one, he's giving money away, right? All right, and then the last one says, which expression represents how much money Jason gains from selling 10 balloons and beach party hats? So, how do we go about figuring this out? What do we need to do? Mikhail?
We can subtract the cost that he buys the balloons and party hats from.
Speak up a little bit.
We can subtract the cost when he buys each balloon and party hat from that when he's selling them.
Why would we do that? You're right, and I want to know why you think we need to do that.
Because when we subtract it, we will find the profit that he would make from
The profit that he would make? Yes, that is 100% correct. So the reason we're subtracting what he sells it for to what he buys it for is because we got to find out how much, because the question is asking, how much money does he gain? Okay? So when you subtract 50 cents from, or 10 cents from 50 cents, you get 40. And then you're going to do the same thing with $1.25 minus 20 cents. All right, so now we have our two numbers. So now, what do we do from here? Do we add those two numbers together? Why not? Are they the same thing? No, they're not, right? Because the 40 cents represents what? 40 cents is representing what? Yasmin? Is it representing the balloons or the party hat? The balloons. So the 40 cents is different. It's a different cost. So we can't just add them together. So we can get rid of this one. I don't even know why there's 60 cents up there or where there's a, oh, because they added them. Okay, I get it. Nope, we can get rid of that one. Can we get rid of this one? Can we get rid of C? Yes, no?
Yes.
Why? Why can we get rid of C? If Yasmin said that the 40 cents and the $1.05 are two different things, we can't add them together, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they added the 50 cents and the $1.25 together, so that one is gone. All right, so again, looking at our numbers that we have left, which one can we get rid of? Which one can we get rid of? I need new friends. We have 40 cents and $1.05. Which one doesn't have 40 cents and $1.05 in it? Every single person should have their hand up because we're all looking at just an answer. Wyatt? We get rid of B because it's got 60 cents and 45 cents in it. So again, knowing this step helps us answer this question without really having to look at it as an expression. All right, now we're going to section 6, number 3. So go ahead and head over that way. I'll be there in about 3 minutes. All right, number 3. This one you can do in your notebook, so go ahead and have that handy. It says the numerical expression is shown. And then it says, what is the value of this expression? So this is what type of question? What type of question is this? Don't tell me it's an expression. Don't tell me it's a numeric expression. Cristiano. Yes, this is a PIMDAS question. Now, you're going to say, but Miss Kenny, we're supposed to be writing expressions. We are, but this is still a type of expression that you are going to see. And you're going to see a lot of it. And you're going to see it in the calculator in active portion. So these beautiful calculators that we can punch this whole little section into and it gives us the answer, you will not have that. Not on a decent amount of these. So we are throwing these in today and tomorrow. So looking at this, it's 5 plus, I'll regret it. So 5 plus 2 times 3 times 2 to the 4th power divided by 2. What are we looking for first? And you need to be doing this in your notebook, guys. What are we looking for first? Zoe?
Parentheses.
Parentheses. Do we have parentheses, Zoe?
Yes.
All right, what is 2 times 3?
6.
All right, so I'm going to solve my parentheses, bring everything down. All right, what am I looking for next? Delilah?
Exponent.
Do I have exponents? Yes, I do. So I have 2 to the 4th power, so that's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Do not tell me this equals 8. What is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2? No. 16. All right, so now I have 5 plus 6 times 16 divided by 2, and I've gotten rid of my exponents. All right, what am I looking for next? What am I looking for next? Troy, is your hand up? Okay. Multiplying or dividing. So Troy, which one comes first? All right, so we are going to multiply 6 times 16. When you do that, what do you get? 6 times 16. Cristiano. So I'm going to do 5 plus 96 divided by 2. So multiplication is gone. All right, I still have division up there. So 96 divided by 2. Ronnie?
It is 58.
40.
No, 48.
48. So then I have 48, or 5 plus 48. And then I'm looking for addition or subtraction. What is 5 plus 48? Levi? 53. All right, give me a thumbs up when you have this copied down. I don't want to, I know I kind of went through fast, but I don't want to go too fast where you don't have the information. All right, go to number 5. Number 5. All right, so it says there are several parts to this expression. Which part represents the product of 2 factors? All right, so what is important in our question? What's important in our question? Someone other than the same people will always raise their hand. Even if you don't know how to answer this question, you should know how to what? Well, I already read for you. So, I mean, you should know how to read, hopefully. But, I mean, I even read it for you. So what do you just got to tell me what? Annotating. Just those important things. Olivia, what's important? So it represents the product of 2 factors. Now let's talk about this word product. What does product mean? What operation? If you're not sure, well, look around the room. It might be up somewhere. Joey, what does product mean? To what? You're right, it is the answer to what? Subtraction, addition, multiplication, or division. Yes. So this means something that is multiplied in two factors or two, obviously, numbers or letters. So 2 plus 5. Yes, no? No. Why? Why, no? Because it's addition. All right, so then what about 3x? Potentially our answer? Okay, so let's kind of put a little check marks next to it, but let's go through the other two. All right, what about 5 plus 3x? Why? Why is that one a no-go? Because why, Jonathan?
Because there's adding in.
Right, it's not just a product because there's adding in it as well. And then 6 plus 4. Is that one good or no? Why, Christiana? But there's parentheses, which means we multiply. Good job. There's nothing outside those parentheses, so our correct answer is B. All right, we are doing number 6 right below it. So which expression represents the calculation the sum of x and 8 divided by 6? All right. So what's important in the question? What's important in the question, Levi? Okay. Divided by 6? What does the word sum mean? What does that word mean? Kai. Right, so this is answer 2 plus. So we know we're adding. So wherever it doesn't have x plus 8, we can get rid of before we go any further. So I can get rid of a, right? Why can I get rid of a? What are they doing? Troy?
We're doing x plus 8 over 6. It's supposed to be 8 plus 6. Actually 8 plus.
Yes. And this is division, so don't forget that line is division. All right, can we get rid of C? Why? Levi? Right. All right, so now we're left with these two. So again, we just gave ourselves a 50-50 chance to get this one right, even if we're not sure. Okay, so stand up if you picked B. All right, have a seat. Stand up if you picked D. Okay. All right, so I have a question for you guys. It says sum of 8 and x is divided by 6. D says 6 divided by x plus 8. So you see how they flipped it? Okay, so this one, order matters a big, huge amount. So order matters unless you have what two keywords? Or really what keyword, but we call it a certain type of phrase. Mikael, switch phrase. All right, so the correct answer is B for this one. All right, move on to number 8. All right, so like I said, I'm really glad that you guys brought up the word terms and started talking about all that, because this question has to do with terms. It says, what are the terms in this expression? 5y minus x plus 7. All right, so how many terms do we have? Let's start with that. How many terms do we have? And remember, a term is separated by a subtraction or an addition sign. So how many terms do you see up there? Elisa, how many do you see? So there's 3 terms up here. So technically, you have 5y, this one, and this one. All right? We can get rid of a, why? Why can we get rid of a? Emma?
Because it only has 2.
Only has 2. All right, the rest of them all have 3. So this is where it gets a little bit tricky. So B, it has 5 minus 1, 7. Is that our correct answer? So we're kind of hesitant, but the majority of us are saying no. Okay, why would this not be our answer? Zoe?
Because there's a random minus 1 there.
There's a random minus 1, and what is the 5 missing?
The 1.
The y. So remember, it's not just numbers, it's numbers and variables that will go into this. All right, so now we have C and we have D that are very, very, very similar. There's one difference between C and D. Stand up if you pick C. Stand up if you pick D. Hold on. Don't be overshooting yet. Okay?
Oh,
All right, so have a seat. So the majority of us did pick D. Why did we pick D? Lily?
Because C has the minus sign before the X.
But isn't that really important to what type of variable that's going to be? Because isn't that a negative 1x? So, again, you got to be careful. But we had a 50-50 chance, right? Mm-hmm. Way better than what we started with. And honestly, this question is hard. It seems like a super easy question, but this is a hard question. All right, so the correct answer is... Okay. All right, go to number 10. Number 10. All right, number 10 says which number is equivalent to the expression shown below. Equivalent to the expression. What does the word equivalent mean to us? Kaylee, what does equivalent mean? Yes. All right, so we have to figure out which one of these is equal. Which ones can we get rid of right away? Make it easy on us. I'm all about trying to give myself a 50-50 chance of getting my questions right. So if I can get rid of some, I do my best to do that. Olivia? B and C? Why? B I will agree with. C I will not. Okay. Why did you say B? What's our root number? Like, what's the big number? 6. So that's definitely why we can get rid of B. So what other one can we get rid of based off of knowing what our big number is? Noah? A. Because both of those have a root number being 5. Now, how many 6s are we multiplying here? How many 6s are we multiplying? 5. So my root, my big number, is 6. And if I'm multiplying 6 times 6 times 6 times 6 times 6, I'm multiplying it to the 5th power. Okay? Questions about that one? All right, number 11. Actually. So it says, in which expression is the number 3 expressed as the coefficient of a variable? Easy. So we just talked about this, right? So a coefficient is the number in front of that variable attached to it with no operation in between. So let's just do process of elimination. We're getting rid of a, y. Lily?
Because there is a plus sign in between the 3 and the y.
Yes. What about 3y plus 1? Would we get rid of that one?
Yeah.
All right, so let's put a check because that's probably our answer, but we're gonna look. What about 3 minus y? Mikhail? Do what? Get rid of it? All right, and then what about D? 7 times 3 plus y. Why? Because why? There's a plus sign, so the correct answer here is B. I may have you guys tomorrow for your bail work, complete some of these problems, so we can go over them real quick. All right, let's go over number 12 real quick. Says which expression is equivalent to 2/3 to the 4th power? Which one, or what's important in this question? Sorry. What's important in the question? Again, we're just annotating. All I'm asking you to tell me is what I need to know. Noah. Who? Okay, and then our actual expression itself. All right, so this is 2/3 to the 4th power. So how many times are we multiplying 2/3? Zoe? 4 times. So I'm not going to multiply by 4 over 1. I'm not going to multiply by 1/4. I am not going to do C. Why? What's going on in C, Kaya? It's addition. All right, so the correct answer for this one is D. Where's my link? All right, we're going to stop after number 14. All right, it says which expression represents 8 less than half a number n? All right, so what's important in this question? Kylie.
8 less than half a number n.
Okay, what else? What else is important? Are you fishing back there? You fishing? You look like, that was a really good catch. What's important? All right, what is special about this question? What's special about this question? What does it have in the 8 less than half a number n? What does it have in there? Noah. It's got this switch phrase, which tells me what? So when I write it, is the 8 going first or going second? Okay, so I'm going to get rid of anything that has the 8 first. And then I just have to figure out, is it C or is it D? So it says 8 less than half a number. So if I was multiplying, what would I multiply by? What would I multiply by? Never mind. Okay, Emma?
2x.
No, if I was multiplying by half, what am I going to multiply by? Kaylee? 5/10, 0.5, half as a fraction. So this one is wrong. Okay? So the correct answer is going to be C. All right, I know that we did not get to the stations today. We will have